Are you ever stuck in a situation in which you think whether or not to include something on your resume? If so, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you the top 7 things that are unnecessary and why they should not be on your resume. Before we get into details, for those who don't know me, I'm Nikita, a SHRM certified HR. I have over a decade of experience in hiring professionals. In recruitment insights, I'm passionate about helping other job seekers in reaching their career goals. With that being said, let's get started. The number one thing that you should never do is to write a generic resume. What I mean by that is when you try to include a variety of skills that you have experienced in on your resume. Rather, your resume should be tweaked and targeted to one position that you're planning to apply for. But it doesn't mean that you include something that you have never worked on. Be genuine and specific. To be honest, one-size-fits-all resume is not appreciated, and in turn it results in a few to no interview calls by recruiters. If you would like to know how to craft a relevant and well-organized resume, then please check out the link above. I have created a detailed video on the step-by-step process for writing a resume. Okay, so let's talk about the second thing, is not to write your resume in the third or the first person. By that I mean that you should not use your name or the personal pronouns such as I, me, he or she to describe your professional experience. Your name comes only once, and that is at the top of a resume, which makes it quite obvious that everything else on your resume is about you. So instead of writing full sentences with a subject, use bullet points with action words such as achieved, led, managed, earned, and so forth. Further down, the third thing that you should not include on your resume are your personal details. There is no need to include your personal information on your resume such as headshot, marital status, nationality, sexual orientation, gender, or date of birth. Unless these things are really required for the job you're targeting, they don't belong to your resume. The reason I'm saying so is because this might lead to unconscious biases and can work against you. So I would say just avoid them. Moving on to the fourth thing that you should not include is inactive or irrelevant links on your resume. I remember the time when I was going through one of the resumes where a candidate was a developer and he had a GitHub link on his resume. For those who don't know, GitHub is a community of techies. I was curious to see how active he was on GitHub. So when I clicked on his profile, to my surprise, he had no activity. He just created it and left it as it is. So the long story short, doing such things can backfire on you. So it's always better to leave such links off your resume. Make sure whatever link you add, depending on your line of work, should add some value and reflect on you why you're qualified for that job. Next, the fifth thing that should not go on your resume is objective statement. Do not include objective statement on your resume, as most recruiters are interested to know what you can bring to the table rather than what you are looking for. Thus, objective statements are too generic to add any value to the position you're applying for. And because of that, they have no place in resumes these days. Let me show you an example. Instead of saying, seeking a development position with opportunities for growth and achievement, which is too generic, you should write a specific job title and a professional highlight that talks about skills which are directly related to the position you're applying for, such as .NET Full Stack Senior Developer, Agile Certified with 8+ years experience in full stack development with a focus on enterprise level projects. So be specific and targeted. However, if you are an intern or a recent grad and if you are specific about your career needs, then you can do something like this. Your highest education plus position you are seeking. For example, MS in Computer Science, seeking opportunity in data analytics. Further moving down to the sixth thing that you should not include on your resume is salary history. Telling your current or previous salary on your resume is not a good job strategy, I would say. Because if you include accurate information, you might get lowballed when it comes to your starting salary with a new employer. On the other hand, if you exaggerate your past earnings, then you might risk yourself getting caught into a lie. Instead, do yourself a favor. Do not include such type of information on your resume. This brings me to the final seventh thing that has no place on your resume is references. Do not include a list of references or a line such as references available upon request on your resume. This information is really not required at the initial stage of the hiring process. This simply wastes your resume space. Plus, employers presume that you already have references and they will ask you when the time is right. And that is when you're through with all the interview rounds. With that, now you have 7 things that have no place on your resume. And here's your chance. If you're still confused about any of the things, whether or not they should be on your resume, do let me know in the comments below. I would love to help. Also, if you enjoyed watching this session, be sure to let me know. And you can do so by giving a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribing to this channel so that you will never miss any of the future uploads. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you next time.